Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I thought I'd take you guys along while I deep clean my bathroom. That was very much needed. If you've been here before, then you know that I've done house cleaning nearly my entire life. My mom had her own business, so it was pretty much my first job and I've done it ever since. And so I thought I'd just show you guys some of my tips and tricks and how I get a really good deep clean done. So the very first thing I like to do is take any of the soft surfaces and throw them right in the wash. So for me this is my bath towels and bath mat, but if you also have a shower curtain, as long as it says it's safe, I would throw that right in the wash as well. And then I just clear off all the counters and the cabinets. I just put them on the ground on a towel, but you can do this in sections if you prefer. But that's one thing I've learned with house cleaning my whole life is it's better to just take them off the counter to get a deep clean done rather than trying to work around it. It works so much better and it's also way faster. And so as I'm doing this, I'm also just cleaning any of the items that were on the counter. And since I was going to be doing a really good scrub of my shower as well, I'm just taking out any soaps. This is a perfect time to go through and get rid of anything that's empty or that you don't use anymore. So we had this corner rack in our shower, but it was starting to get a little bit rusted and gross, so I just decided to get rid of it and we were gonna get a new one. And so I'm not cleaning my sink here, but I just give it a quick rinse out and then I plug the drain and fill it with really hot water, and I'm also just gonna add in some soap. I always clean my sinks last just so that I can clean any really dirty items that need to soak in there. And so what I'm doing for this one is it's gonna be my shower drain, which is so disgusting. I do clean this pretty often, but this thing gets so gross. And so I'm just gonna let it soak for a bit before I give it a scrub. So for cleaning my shower, this is the thing when I house clean that I get the most comments on, that everyone just loves how clean their showers are. So what I use is this cream Vim, not the one with bleach, just the regular one. And then I use a sponge and a scrub brush. And so all I do is squirt this Vim cream all over. And the reason I don't use the bleach one is sometimes if you have like the little plastic pieces, like even my little drain, it can get stained from the bleach. It turns it like a yellow color. So I just like to use the regular cream one. This is what I've always used and everything comes out so clean. It's what I use on everything too. I use it on the tiles, on the glass, as well as on any fixtures and the bottom of the tub as well. So especially when cleaning the glass, you want to make sure it's really wet. So I didn't wet the glass quite enough, so I'm just soaking my sponge in between cleaning. And another thing, you want the sponges that aren't abrasive, but that have a little bit of like texture to them, I guess, like not just a plain dish sponge. I think most sponges have these nowadays, but I just buy mine at the dollar store. And so I also am scrubbing the bottom of my tub as well as any corners and cracks. And that's when I usually come in with my little scrub brush. I get in all the grout, all the corners, and like around any drains and things like that. And you can see the water as it comes down, how especially in the grout it was so dirty. And so even if I don't do this for a couple weeks, then give it a really good scrub like this, all the dirt comes off. And so for the glass as well, I'm just giving it a good rinse, and this should be enough. Sometimes if you have really hard water, the glass can actually get etched, which obviously is impossible to clean because it's actually damaging the glass. But if you do this, at least it gets all the white off, and it does make it still look so much better. And so once this had soaked for a little bit, I just came in with my scrub brush and gave it a good clean. And you can tell that someone before me probably used some sort of bleach on this because it is a little bit discolored. I should probably just go buy a new one. But I'm still able to get it quite clean just from scrubbing it. And I also used a little piece of magic eraser around the edges just to get off any dirt that was stuck on there. And so then for the outside of the shower, I just use glass cleaner and some paper towel. If I was at a customer's house, I sometimes dry the glass depending how dirty it was and use this on the inside as well. But for just at my own house, I'm just gonna spray the outside and give it a good wipe. Then I do the toilet area next, and so I'm just giving everything around there a really good dust, including the fan that's up above the toilet, which if yours is really bad, you can use the hairy end on your vacuum instead. That's something I have to do at some customers' houses. And so then I'm using an antibacterial spray, spraying the toilet and letting it sit. And while it's sitting, I'm just giving everything else a good wipe down with a little bit of the antibacterial spray on my cloth. And so then for the toilet, I always start with the least dirty area, obviously moving down to the more dirty areas. So like starting with the handle and the top before moving to the bottom of the toilet. And then I also give around the toilet on the floor a good wipe with the antibacterial spray as well. And so a few extra areas to always remember to clean are like on any heat vents as well as any baseboards. Those can get really dusty and dirty in bathrooms. And then also any little ledges like this one around my shower always gets so dirty. And also any light switches, any walls that need to be cleaned, just remembering all the extra spots you don't usually think about. And so then it was on to the sinks and vanity. And so again, like the toilet, I spray the top with the antibacterial spray and then let it just sit in the sinks and stuff. And then I just spray a little bit on a clean cloth and I give the fronts of the cabinets a little bit of a wipe as well as all the handles. So places on the countertop that sometimes people forget to clean are behind any of the faucets. Sometimes those get really gross and people don't notice them. And then also any ledges. This is just why it's so much easier to do it on an empty counter rather than having to work around stuff. So this is another area that I notice people really forget to clean is if you have one of these undermount sinks to use a scrub brush and get in around the edges. Sometimes I do this at customers' houses and the water that comes out is almost black. And so then it's on to shining everything up. And so I spray the mirror as well as the faucets with the glass cleaner. And I always start with the mirror because you don't want anything on your paper towel when you're doing the mirror, or it can make it streaky. But then I just move to the faucets, and this just really makes them shine. And so just with anything extra on my paper towel, I always give the counter a good wipe too. It makes it so that there's no streaks at all. If you guys have been here before, then you know I'm obsessed with these really soft microfiber cloths. I just buy them at the dollar store, but I'm telling you, this is probably my favorite cleaning tool to use. You can just go over your mirror and anything you want to shine up, and it leaves no streaks at all. Once I had put everything on the counters, I noticed that these mirrors on the wall needed to be cleaned. So I just took them down and again used the glass cleaner and then a paper towel just to get any dirt off. And then using this soft microfiber cloth on these makes a world of a difference. I had a few darker spots on my cabinets from like makeup and stuff, and so I decided to just go over them with a piece of magic eraser. You really want to be careful doing this. Like at customers' houses, I always test the inside of the cabinet first because it can take off the finish on certain cabinets, but I've done it on mine before, so I just did that quickly and then wiped it down after. Everything was sparkling clean. The bathroom looks so amazing except for the floors. I was just working my way down because you'll see how I do my floors can get a little bit messy, and so I just like to have everything else done ahead of time. And so I'm just gonna show you, these were my floors. You can see the grout is really dirty. If you guys want to see a whole video on how I clean grout, I actually already have one done. I can link it down below. It's one of my first videos. But pretty much I just mix baking soda and hydrogen peroxide until I get a paste, and then I put it in the grout and give it a scrub. But I can show you guys exactly how that works in my other video. I didn't measure out the ingredients this time, and I definitely didn't add enough baking soda, but it still works just as good. It's just that you have to wait for it to dry a little bit longer. So I'm just adding a little more here, but I'm gonna show you guys the before and after of these floors once I'm done here, and this seriously makes the biggest difference. And so once this dries a bit, you just want to go around with a broom and dustpan and just scoop up as much as you can. We are going to vacuum it. You just don't want to wreck your vacuum with too much of this powder. And so I get most of it up with the broom and dustpan. Then I just dusted everything out a little bit once it was really dry. And then I'm going over it with the vacuum, and I'm also going to go over it with my mop just to get any of the extra powder and to sanitize the floors. Now don't look at the grout yet because this is wet. Once it dries, it looks so much better. But pretty much that is all. I was just waiting for everything to dry, but my bathroom looked so amazing at this point. Everything was sparkling clean. And this is the before of the grout. You can see how gross and dirty, and once it dried, this is how pretty and clean the grout looked. And then the very last thing I had to do was just hang up all my clean towels, and my bathroom was clean and ready to go. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this one and want to see some more deep cleaning videos, like maybe my kitchen or my living room or something like that, let me know. But make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.